Hello and welcome to Character Genetics Live. I'm Randy Bixby, your host, and we've got a great show for you today right here where we take a deep dive into how to change our results in life, and that's by changing our character, because we believe here that our character is the real inventor of our results. And so we've got a great program for you today. We're going to jump right in with our first segment with one of our cultural architects. I have a real privilege today joining us, as soon as I can figure this out, there we go, joining us today on our call is my own daughter, Kara Bixby. Kara is a missionary with Youth with a Mission in Mexico, and sooner or later I'll get it here. There we go. And there she is. She's home visiting just for a few days and headed back. It's been quite a year for Kara. She is 19 now, but boy, she graduated high school, worked her tail off to save some money, and then headed off to Mexico to do what's called a discipleship training school with Youth with a Mission. And then guys kind of bounced around to different nations, and there's a lot going on, but she is one of the ones that we want to celebrate as a cultural architect, somebody who is shaping culture by influencing their sphere. And we say shaping culture from the inside out, because really it's those internal, right, those core values and thinking that we have that really create our own results, and then it goes out from there. And she's making a big difference. So I'm just gonna share some of her story. She's gonna share it. So, Kara, it's great to have you on our show this morning. How are you?
Good, thanks, Dad. And I guess cultural architect is a new term for me, a new word for me. But I like that because it's really about building up people and building up a culture of or a culture of change. And something that we talk about often where I live there in Mexico is being an agent of change. And where we want to create, or we want to be agents of change and seeing transformation and development happen, not just on the social side of, like the social work side of things, but also in a belief system and a worldview kind of way, the way that people think. So, like he just shared, I've had kind of a crazy year, graduated high school, and then flew off to Mexico. And, I think we all take big steps, not really realizing what all is in store. Sometimes I'm sure that there's a lot of business people with character genetics, and I'm sure that you've all taken some giant leaps where you don't know what the next season holds or what the next step holds, but we all kind of take those big strides, and that's where we see success, or where we see failures that end up leading to greater success, right?
Yeah.
And it all starts with those leaps. And
Yeah.
so
You took a huge leap last fall and went to school in Mexico. And tell us just a little bit quick about the school, and then where you went from there and what you did.
all right, so the discipleship training school, it's through the University of the Nations, which is basically a subsect of Youth with a Mission. It's the biggest organization of missionaries in the world. And I did that school, and through that just learned a lot about culture. I kind of arrived in Mexico and encountered, that I went there to learn missions and to love people, and I didn't speak the language.
Yeah.
And for me, personally, that was something big. I'm a relational kind of person. That's my life. I love building relationships with people, seeing deep changes in people, transformation. And so the fact that I couldn't speak to people one-on-one really got me. And so I put my head down.
Yeah, you did.
And only hung out with Latinos for a while, and from the majority, and basically listened to the translation in all my classes, wrote down words that I was learning.
And I think this is amazing. Carrie, you took some Spanish in high school, but you actually picked it up, learned it, And in a really short period of time now, you're actually translating for a lot of the teams. I mean, in some of the sessions that are going on, like you just really got a grasp on it. I think it's a gift. It's part of your gifting, which is powerful.
Yeah.
Tell us about what you did in Dominican Republic and Haiti on your outreach with the school.
Well, yeah, so there's the lecture part of the school where we learn about culture, about God's character, about what success looks like, how to build healthy relationships, and then there's the application part of the school. So it's, we want to apply what we learn,
Sure.
correct?
Yeah.
So basically, different parts of the school went to different nations. I had the opportunity to go to the Dominican Republic and Haiti. And it was a great challenge, flying to a tropical island with only 10 other people that I had only met a few months ago. Half of us were Mexican, the other half were Canadian and American. So then there's those kinds of things while you're going to a new culture and learning it together. And so there
What were
was
some of the challenges that you faced there too?
some of the challenges. I'm gonna say, you know, when you go to a nation to do work, I think one of the main challenges is you think you're going to bless those kinds of people or to, you know, work with them and show love to them. But really, you have to work amongst your team. If there's not unity or if there's not understanding within the team or you're not loving the person sitting right next to you, you
Mm-hmm.
cannot effectively love the person in the street. And so while it was challenging to randomly go up to people and be like, I feel like I just received a word that I'm supposed to pray for you, and then they end up getting healed and their leg ends up changing from this direction to this direction and they start running down the street, or, we ended up in someone's home and their daughter had committed suicide 15 days before we showed up, and she was
Wow.
15. And they said, we said,
Mm.
we don't have any hope. So if you're out there, like, show us something, or we're going to give up. And so we ended up in the house and just being able to be with that family. But if we hadn't had unity as a team, we would have not been effective
Yeah.
in sharing that love. So
There's a couple of stories that I have the privilege because I'm dad, right? So I get to those. Just share briefly a couple of things I know from that trip, and just in a minute or two, about what happened at the witch doctor's house and your travels many days back and forth with the sandbags. So just share some of that, will you?
yeah. So like I said, the other part of the outreach, we spent half in the Dominican and half in Haiti, and very different nations. Not very good, I guess, international relations between the two nations. So they don't like each other, and Haiti has a very different background. They come from slave background, from different tribes of Africa, where voodoo, witchcraft is definitely the staple. It's their culture, it's their religion, whatever. And so, you go from a Catholic colonized area to a witchcraft colonized area, and obviously you're going to find some conflict. So when we were there, it's an automatic difference. There's like no trees. It goes automatically desert. So we're driving about 13 hours in a bus. We get lost. Nobody speaks the language. Everything's like just a disaster. We're on this bus and we're driving, and then all of a sudden it's only rice fields and only banana trees and mango trees, and then, oh, there's a mud hut, oh, there's a mud hut, and then all of a sudden we're lost, and it was about 11 o'clock at night, and we were hearing all the voodoo going on and everything. We finally arrived, and, well, the bus got stuck because there's no roads, and so we had to get out and throw our hiking backpacks on our back and trudge through the rice fields. Well, nobody spoke the language, and we didn't really know where we were going. So, there's all that kinds of fun stuff. But at the church that we stayed at, it was basically just a little concrete structure, no windows, nothing, no floor, dirt, everything. Kitchen outside under a tarp in these mud hut communities where the witch doctors are very prevalent. And so we are, our first night there and we're hearing all the witch doctors and stuff, we just start praying and it starts pouring rain in the middle of the dry season when it never rains. So all the people knew and they said, there's a reason that you guys are here. But one of our things, other apart from evangelizing, was helping with the church, like construction. And so we would go to the river and we would bring sandbags, fill up the sandbags, and run across the river, try not to sink, and get across and carry it up the mountainside.
How far of a walk was it?
Um, I'd say it was about a 10-minute walk with each bag, and
Yeah.
we did that basically all day, every day for a week.
How heavy were the bags? Did you ever find out?
Well, they were pretty heavy. It's like your whole strength, like like throwing it on your shoulder.
And then walking across the river. What else was in the river with you?
Well, everybody goes to the restroom in the river.
Yeah.
And does their dishes, showers in the river. There's some animals that aren't common to the United States in there. So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And then one day we were out evangelizing and a boy, actually a witch doctor's son, we went into the witch doctor's home because and evangelizing might look different. It's about sharing love, it's about giving people respect and honor, not about saying, you're going to die, you're a witch, you're going to die, you're going to burn in hell. Like, God came to love people. So we went to love people. And actually, the witch doctor's son accepted Jesus inside of the witch doctor's home, where
How sweet
darkness
is that?
supposedly rules. So that was a cool thing.
Awesome. So now, turn my volume down on your computer there. There we go. So now you finished that. You went back for a school, right? What was it? The School of Community Transformation and Development.
Yeah.
Talk about that real quick and what you've done as a result of that.
Well, I've always had a heart for really development and seeing change happen in a community, and on as far as the sustainable side of things and the faith side of things. So in the school we looked at basically the Magna Carta and then also the Christian Magna Carta. So we looked at what are all of the physical needs that people need, shelter, water, education, and then also the spiritual needs. Everybody should have the right to have a place of community and a place to worship, And then we went into how do you see development? And it's kind of like what you talk about in character genetics, about the belief systems that we have.
Yeah.
Each culture, each set of people have their own worldview or belief systems. And so when those aren't serving them, like a poverty mindset, or an entitlement mindset, or some top development workers actually came in, and one of them told us a story about in the Middle East, they had hospitals, but they were always empty, and the people were very, very sick. And so she wanted to address that and figure out why, So the development comes with building relationships and trust with people.
Yeah.
And then, seeing how they see the world. So they didn't go to the hospital because their belief system or worldview was if they were sick, it was because Allah, their God, desired them to be punished and desired for them to die.
Yeah.
And so you look at, well, why do we purify our water when it was meant to be that way? Because Allah, made it that way. So then you see all this death and disease happening, but that's the belief of the people. So then you have to honor what they think and honor their culture, but also see that transformation happen. And so we looked at how to analyze that and then how to see development happen.
Yeah. You actually got trained too, and was it aquaponics and clean water? Tell us about that.
Aquaponics, if you haven't heard about it, it's basically a sustainable growing system. So, it runs on water, tilapia, and the tilapia, like you feed the tilapia and
Fish,
then
yeah.
their waste, fish, their waste ends up bringing all the nutrients to the plants through the water. And it's just a system that runs like that, and so people can eat the fish because they reproduce, and people can eat all the vegetables that it produces. The only thing to the whole system is that you need running water. The fish and the plants will purify the water So, I mean, there's a bunch of different other things that go with that, but that's
Yeah.
basically the gist of it.
So then you've taken that and put it into practice, and now you're headed back to make a 2-year commitment as a full-time missionary. Oh, this is Dad saying, "Wow, 2 years." What are you going to do? What's Kara about for the next couple of years, as far as you know right now, in just south of Tijuana, Mexico, right, Rosarito?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us.
Um, Yeah, so I'm going to be going back, actually leave tomorrow for another 2 years. And we have a ministry called Homes of Hope where we build homes. It's part of the development that we
Yeah,
want to see. And instead of just being like, here's a home, here's a home, here's a home, we want to see the follow up in the belief systems change, that, that poverty mindset change, people empowered in their community. So, what do you see? What do you want in your community? Working alongside. So, my part in the staff of that is going to be the follow up after they receive a home.
yeah, and
After,
there's been what I know over 3,000 homes. I don't know the exact number. Do you know where?
yeah, we build over 3,000 homes, and we usually build a home to 2 homes every weekend.
Yeah. What's real interesting is, let's see, what is it? Almost 20 years ago now. Wow, 18 years ago. Uh, I took my family, and Kara, you actually learned to walk at the University of the Nations in Kona, Hawaii, and we were on staff at the same base, not the same physical location, but the same base in Tijuana, building homes 17, 18 years ago. So this is really a generational thing. And not only are you going to be building homes now, because you're multi-gifted, right? You're also going to be doing something else with the school there. What else is going on?
Yeah, there's, like I said earlier, I did a discipleship training school. We continue to have those schools come in. And just like my dad, actually, too, I love to worship and play guitar, and that gift has actually been passed down through him. He used to run a house of prayer here in the Des Moines area, and so that has also been transferred into my life as I'm his legacy. So I'm going to be helping lead the worship and intercession for different things on the campus and different nights of the DTS, just really encouraging that atmosphere of intimacy with God.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited about that as
Me
well.
too. That's so awesome. I mean, I'm just so proud of you, Kara, and it's a great moment. And so, Kara, if people obviously you don't do this alone, right? This requires people praying for you, people sowing into your ministry financially. If people want to follow you, and by the way, Kara, you're a great writer. Kara writes some of the most amazing blog posts, and there's just story after story after story that brings tears to my eyes. But if people want to connect with you, if they want to, read your blog, if they want to pray for you, they want to maybe support you financially, how could they do that?
So, actually, you could find me on Facebook. I've got a page that is specifically dedicated to the mission. And so, every time we, build a home, there's going to be information on that, the story of the family. Anytime that, the worship is coming up, or a burrito ministry where we go out in the streets and pray for people with basically
That's my kind of ministry, the burrito ministry. Yeah, while people
so
are waiting to get into the
testimonies.
hospital, right? They were waiting
Yeah.
to get in to be seen in the hospital, and they're there for many days and weeks sometimes, and you're there with your friends and feeding them and praying for them, and yeah. So what's the name of the
burrito is
Facebook page?
basically
I missed that.
Conversation starter. Huh?
What's the name of the Facebook page where people can find you?
It's under my name, Kara Michelle Bixby, and it's just like a public figure, like one of those that you can just like, and then you'll automatically follow it, and
Okay.
you'll receive all the information and testimonies for what's going on in the ministry.
Okay, Kara Michelle Bixby. All right.
There's another one. If you would like, you can email me at karabixby@gmail.com, and I'll get you on the email updates. I send one of those out each month. Basically, just an overview of what's going on, a couple testimonies. And the blog is also linked to the Facebook page. So there's those things all there. or, if you're interested in chatting, talking, praying together, I'm sure we could pass on my phone number or Skype information.
You can find that on
So,
your Facebook page. Yeah.
yep.
You also have information on there how people can support you financially if they want to do that. Is that on there as well?
Yeah. If anybody feels a pull on their heart to join in the change, it's not just about like, okay, well, here's this, so you can go do that. That's not what it's about. It's about saying, I can't go at the moment, but what I can do is be part of it and
Yeah.
send someone.
Yeah.
So it's being part of the ministry, it's being part of the change, it's being part of that family's story of they receive a home after being run away by the drug cartels. It's if somebody wants to be a part of the ministry and sow into that, there are blessings of that, and that's just a way of doing it. I guess a mechanism, so we call it, right? A
Yeah.
mechanism of being part of missions, even if they can't go. Or if you also want to be involved, you could come down and build a home.
Oh
And
yeah.
that would be, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you could come down and build a home, and I could probably translate for your team so you can get firsthand, hands-on glimpse, see a family's life change if you're interested in doing that as well. So,
Well, thank you. This has been a special privilege and pleasure for me. This is Kara Bixby, one of our cultural architects, missionary down with YWAM, Youth with a Mission, down just south of Tijuana, Mexico. And we'll be right back after these messages.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
See them here, see them there. You got bad credit? We don't care.
Visit emetroford.com for your guaranteed credit approval. Good credit, bad credit, no credit. Everybody drives with guaranteed credit approval at emetroford.com. Visit emetroford.com today.
If Tom Coates from Consumer Credit of America was your personal webmaster, Tom would filter out all bad debt emails. If Tom was your mailman, you'd never get any debt reduction junk mail. If Tom Coates was a lineman, he'd block any phone calls offering to reduce your credit card debt.
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of America, and we're still your best choice for credit counseling. We're local, we're accountable, and we can do more. You make the call when the time's right for you.
When it comes to competition, there really is none for Consumer Credit of America.
Character Genetics Live with Randy Bixby. What a great time with my daughter Kara as one of our cultural architects. She's just doing a fabulous job. I hope you will go check that out on our Facebook page, Kara Michelle Bixby. Got some exciting news here. Character Genetics Live. We have just launched a brand new workshop. For those of you who don't know, I do a series of leadership and character development workshops and coaching, consulting, and working with people to really shape culture, what I say, from the inside out. That this whole thing about leadership and influence, it really comes down to what's going on inside of me and my ability to get my thinking straight and in a way that's producing the kind of results that make a difference. And so, and the reality is that there's a lot of mindsets and thinking that are stopping that from happening. There's a lot of limiting mindsets. In fact, most of us, I would say really all, but at different degrees, we all have limiting mindsets. In other words, there are self-imposed lids that we put on ourselves as to how much money we can make or how good our marriage can be or what we can do for a job or an income or what kind of an impact we can make on society and culture. And really, many times it's not, the economy or the Democrats or the Republicans or any other list and litany of reasons why we can't be all that or do all that that's really in our hearts to do. It's really self-limiting, the stuff that we choose. We do it unknowingly. We do it subconsciously, but we really set those boundaries on ourselves. And we have a series of workshops Reveal, respond, resolve. Reveal is the first of the advanced character genetics workshops where we deal with self-awareness, that we learn tools to really get aware of what's going on in that subconscious thinking, because that's where our results are coming from. One of the wise sayings, it comes out of the Proverbs actually, but it's found in many religions, is that as a man or woman thinketh in their hearts, so are they. It's that hidden thinking, that subconscious thinking that we make decisions and get results from. And if we're unaware of what those are, we're limited to what we can produce. And in fact, we're producing right now what that thinking and those beliefs, those mindsets are. And so if we don't like what we're producing now, the key is to be aware first, which mindsets are causing that and how do I shift it? And so we do that in Reveal. We work on self-awareness for 16 hours. And it's just powerful change that comes to people's life. We've got testimonies and so many people getting powerful results. And then the second workshop in the advanced series is called Respond. It is a 90-day goal-oriented workshop where we really build personal responsibility, which is the second key factor that we teach as part of our inducer transformation system. It's a lot. You can see the videos on the YouTube channel if you want more info on that. And then Resolve's the third one, where we really are coaching and teaching a coaching skill set so people can take their leadership and their leadership culture, whether it's a business or an organization, a family, a ministry, whatever it is, and come from that coaching place that is such a powerful way to lead, frankly. And but those are the three main advanced workshops. What we're just launching now in October is a new workshop called Limitless. And we're so excited about this. It's a 12-hour workshop that is an overview of all three of the advanced workshops. So it's the same foundational stuff that really we built these workshops off of and gotten the results with people. This what I call the govern mantle, which is this mastery of governing ourself, our sphere, and our culture, resulting in maximum life imprint or kingdom imprint. It's an inside-out job that as I get mastery in my own life over my health and finances and marriage and family and all that, that I also then am able to demonstrate that authority in my sphere where I have influence in my job or my organization, and ultimately into opportunities that come my way or that I create, and then beyond into culture, into our communities and our nations. And there's a real leadership vacuum right now, and I'm so glad to be on the front lines of that mission to create leaders. And we've been doing it in Detroit, of all places, and seeing tremendous results. I mean, Detroit is rising. I'm so excited. You might not see it yet. You might still think that there's just so much bad going on, and there is some of that. But boy, there are things that are turning around there that I'm excited to be a part of. But we'll give you the foundation of the govern mantle in the Limitless, as well as the core transformation system, that we use and implement with all of our work and coaching. And it's important to have a system. And some of you know this. Systems will outperform goals every time. Culture outperforms systems. And that's where the end game, I think, really is. Just the way things are finally different and changed, and there's momentum there. But how do I change this thinking? We've narrowed it down to a system, and I call it the inducer. It's right out of molecular biology. And I'm not going to go into the science of it right now, but there's such a great picture in our DNA of how that is taken from the design codes to the completion of design. That process is a process of transformation and of integration. And that process, we break it down into the three key parts, and they're the key parts to bringing transformation or change to our lives at any level. And the three parts are reveal, respond, and resolve, and which happen to be the name of our workshops, which you'll get a taste of all three in Limitless. But the inducer model is really reveal is self-awareness again, and it's playing personal investigator. It's a tool. In other words, how do I live in such a way to be more and more aware of what my thinking is? And this is important, both the thinking that is wrong or out of alignment, the thinking that's not producing the results I want. It's important to know what that is. It's also important to know what thinking will actually produce the results I want. So what's the limiting thinking and what's the limitless thinking? And when I shift my thinking, I disagree with what's limiting me and I agree with the limitless possibility and opportunity and resource that we have inside of us as amazingly created human beings, that opens up so many possibilities for us. They become limitless, truly. And that's what I'm excited about. You'll get a taste of all 3 workshops. So, and here's why it's important, because revelation is the first big key to accelerated change. Many people, they want change, and they want change fast. I know I like fast better than slow when it comes to change. And a lot of people think change has to take forever, or it takes a long time. And it can, but it doesn't have to. And the key to accelerated change is having a revelation. In this case, what's the thinking that's stopping me, that's limiting me? And what's the thinking that will break me through into limitless possibilities? And so we're going to teach you how to do that very practically with hands-on experiential activities, not just information, blah, blah, blah. But there's games and exercises and partner activities. There's ways of tools that we want to put in your hands to grow in this ability to be self-aware. In just a moment, I'm going to show you about almost a 10-minute teaching that I call the personal investigator tool. And that teaching is kind of the core tool of playing personal investigator, becoming aware of the thinking. And you're going to have that in just a minute. But revelation is the key to accelerated change. Personal responsibility, second, is the key to sustainable change. I'm responsible for me. And so once I discover the mindsets that's stopping me and the mindsets that are going to break me through, clear, ongoing, specific, and accountable action is taken to bind these or neutralize these repressors and until change is sustained to completion or the end, the fullness of design. And so responsibility, personal responsibility, you get a taste of that in Limitless, powerful. And then finally, resolve, the third part. And I like this definition. I define this as the unwavering adherence. The unwavering adherence to strategic action that's in alignment with core values, vision, and mission. The why that you're here, the why for your organization. Ongoing, consistent, right? Strategic action, not just being busy, but taking action that matters, that produces results. Once my own limiting mindsets have been recognized and revealed, and I take responsibility for them, then I take action that's intentional and ongoing. And guess what? Things shift for me. Things change for me. And it's a very powerful system that's at the core. And Limitless, the 12-hour workshop. And here's the great news. It's $97. I mean, we're doing this as an intro to the advanced workshops. And so, you're wondering, it's almost laughable almost. It's $97, but we want to have people get an experience of this. Because here's what we've learned through the workshops we've been doing. When people get an experience of our workshops and they begin to have these revelations, these ahas about the mindsets that are stopping them and what's possible, and they make accelerated, change that's measurable and sustainable, everything changes for them. They're so excited, and then it's like, whatever. I don't care what the next part is. I want to go. I've got to be a part of this. But to get started in that, some people just are like, skeptical, and they were like, I've heard a lot about this before. And so we want to just lower those barriers so there's no barriers. Cost is affordable, time is reasonable, and the results are amazing. So I hope that you'll join us for one of our Limitless workshops that are coming up. And right now, I want to take you to a short teaching. It's a teaching about the tool that I give called the Personal Investigator. So if you're listening to me, you're like, man, he's saying a lot of stuff kind of fast, or I get it, but what are you talking about? Give me something I can put into my life. This is a tool that you can use. You watch it for 10 minutes. You play around with it and you start to use it, you can use it immediately and get great value and start to see the mindsets that are stopping you and the mindsets that can break you through to limitless possibilities and opportunities that are right there waiting for you. So enjoy this. We'll be back right after the video.
This is a diagram that talks and really shows three parts of our being. It's not the body, soul, spirit look. That's real and that's Bible, but it's a different look. This is what I call a head, heart, and infinite or God part of us. Okay? And it's just a different look at three distinct parts of who we are. And the head is where our conscious mind is. Heart is where the subconscious thinking is at. And this infinite part of us, God, is where it's unlimited. We have this resource because God is in us. You'll notice, if you can see this, that the bottom part is open. These are closed circles. The bottom part is open because that represents unlimited, limitless possibilities in strength and resource in God. And so one of the things that we talk about and teach is that we make decisions unconsciously, or subconsciously, I should say. And those decisions that we make at a subconscious level, we're making just as quickly as possible all the time. They're just one after the other. This is what it means to be good. This is what it means to be bad. This is what money means. This is what God means. This is what men mean. This is what women mean. And we're defining reality around us based upon the programming at a subconscious level that was input generationally, through the generational lines, but also input through my own experience as a kid, as a child, especially when I'm young, what I go through, what I observe. I begin to form an operating system or a lens, like these glasses. I begin to form a belief system about how I see myself or God or the world. And I don't know I have these on. I'm unaware, right? It's the part 90 to 95% of us that neuroscience says is unaware. And interestingly enough, though, this is the part where it says in Proverbs 23:7 that as a man or woman thinketh at a heart level, the subconscious level, so are they. This is where my results are coming from. Is this subconscious believing. Now, you might be saying, what are you talking about? Here's what I'm talking about. You take a measurement right now of your life and the results you have in your life. Okay, your health, your relationship with your spouse, your kids, your finances, whatever that number in the checkbook is, your retirement plan, your ministry effectiveness, your business, whatever you measure your life. I'll promise you this, whether you see it or not, probably you won't exactly, but here's what the truth is. It's what you believe at a heart level, at this subconscious level, that is creating those results. You might say, well, wait a minute, I don't like those results. Whether you like them or not is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they're there for a reason. And they're there because it's what you believe at a heart level. You say, well, no, I don't. I want more than that, or I want different than that. What we want is irrelevant at some level. I mean, people want to be in a loving relationship but go to bed lonely every night. People want to have money to pay their bills and make a big difference but are broke and filing bankruptcy. So what we want isn't really the issue that I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the reason why we have the results in our lives we have right now is because of what I've chosen to agree with or disagree with, what I choose to believe, the belief systems that I have. And to change my results, I've got to change my belief system. You say, well, how do I do that? I don't even know what it is. I don't know what's causing my bank balance to be that. I don't know what's causing my marriage. Exactly. So there's a tool that's called Personal Investigator. Sometimes I call it a detective. Personal Investigator. That we use in the workshops and in the coaching to be able to discover what are the belief systems that are really stopping me from what I want, or really disagree with God and His ways. And what are the belief systems that are limiting me, and what are the belief systems that are limitless? And so here are the two things we look for, the two clues. We're going to look for two clues: feelings and behavior. So you start just simply being aware, even right now, what's your behavior right now? Are you really into what I'm saying? Are you bored? Are you checked out? Are you distracted? Are you frustrated by what I just said? What are you feeling right now? And what are you doing right now? That is a feeling and a behavior. And then you ask yourself this question. What's the thinking in my heart causing that feeling or behavior? Because that's the fact. Some people think, no, I just feel what I feel. Well, scientifically, what's proven is that a thought creates a feeling. And so there's a thought that's underneath a feeling. Maybe it's a thought of being afraid or being embarrassed or being, what other people think about me or being, whatever. There's a thought underneath that feeling. And so to discover that thinking is a key to discovering some of the limiting beliefs. And it's so vitally important because to change our fruit and results, we've got to change our character, our core thinking. The way we do that is by playing an investigator. And this is why experienced learning is so powerful. I can tell you this stuff and you say, yep, this is how, but there's no real transformation until you find yourself in a workshop or a coaching experience where you go through an experience and you're experiencing feelings and behaviors in the experience, and then you connect the dots. And then you begin to see, wow, I have a belief system of something like, I have to figure it all out first before I take chances. Or, I don't believe I can trust anybody. Or, I know it all already. What are you going to tell me? Or, there's not enough. I'm not enough, right? I'm not smart enough. I'm not good looking enough. I'm not bright enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not. Or, there's not enough possibilities. There's not enough ways for me to make my dreams happen. All of that stuff surfaces through these experiences that are having in the training, and all of a sudden I'm confronted with beliefs that I have at a core level that I was unaware of before I went through this process. But when I become aware of them, then I can take responsibility for them, and I can change them, and then I can produce a different result. But it starts with understanding how to play a detective or a personal investigator, how to walk, and really this is all around self-awareness. There's a lot of work that's being done today around self-awareness. And then personal responsibility is the next step. I see what's limiting me and the limitless possibilities. I take responsibility for them, and then I take action. And this is a transformation process that is exciting, and actually the training's fun. And you can do this even right now. Experiment with it. Just be aware of how you're feeling, how you're behaving. Ask yourself the question, what's the belief that's causing this? What's the thinking causing this? And you find out, well, I'm afraid of failing might surface. And here's how you take it and make value out of it. Once you discover a belief system, you look at all the different parts of your life that are less than what you want. And you ask yourself, how is that belief system affecting this situation? You apply the thinking that you discovered to these areas that are a problem for you or that you want to grow or that are stuck. Because here's the thing. How we do anything is how we do everything. T. Harv Eker said that at some level. I say it this way, if it happens in here, it happens out there. My thinking goes with me everywhere I go. So if I believe that God's out to get me and I'm, a bad person, I'm going to take that into every situation in my life. Or if I believe that I'm never going to have money and money is just hard to get, I take that into every one of my experiences, and it affects the results. If I believe that you can't trust people, I take that into every relationship. And guess what? You can't have a healthy marriage, a healthy relationship with your kids, a healthy business without trust. You can't love without trust. And so it's fascinating to me, and it's really more than fascinating, it's transforming. To have this revelation about what's limiting me and then what's limitless can move me forward in living an epic life. It's very powerful. I hope that hope you'll take another step, watch some more videos, join us for a workshop sometime. But it's been great to be with you. Character Genetics, accelerated, measurable, sustainable change.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
I'm Brian Leach, owner and general manager of Service Legends. I brought along a couple of the home comfort heroes.
Hi, I'm Tammy Wells.
I am Nick Wonderscheid.
I am administrative manager.
I am the senior technician
from Service Legends.
It seems like every good thing, when you feel it to the bone that it's good, there's a lot of hard work put behind it. I don't think that you can fake it and have it turn out good.
You know, if we seem like, okay, that's just weird, it's just a furnace, why would you believe so deeply in a furnace? It's not just that, you know, we want to show the world that you can have good service.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be, it's your home.
You know, it's built into our daily trainings, it's built into our culture, that we're gonna do whatever it takes to have each client say they love us, period.
That's why we spend all the hours in the training that we do. And if we guarantee it's gonna be a good experience for you, or else it's free, what type of work do you think we're gonna do?
There is a guarantee.
Temperature selection guarantee, fixed right or it's free guarantee, comfort guarantee, best value. All of these guarantees hold us accountable to ensuring that we exceed your expectations. And if for whatever reason we'd fail and we can't make it right, we guarantee all of those guarantees with a 100% money back guarantee.
I mean, if you don't think that your technician can fix it right, are you gonna say that to a client? No.
You don't have to worry about having a technician come to your house.
We drug test, background check all of our team members. We put safe people in your home. Each and every one of our service techs, 400 hours a year in training.
You tell it the minute they walk in the door. They know what they're doing, they've done their homework, and they actually truly care about what you want.
Because at the end of the day, you're the person that makes sure I have a job.
They're gonna be listening. They're gonna wanna know what your challenges are. Then they're gonna come and give you options, and you get to choose.
If I'm there to help and I make it easy and painless, I did my job right that day.
Well, when it comes to your comfort, safety, and your family, you know, you don't necessarily go buy the most expensive, but you get the most bang for your buck.
Oh, it's worth it, because there's a lot of people that will find a way to get it to work right now, and then leave, and then come back, charge you again, and the cycle just repeats itself. So when I'm out there looking at the furnace, I want to find why it failed today. How can we change the part today with something that you're not going to have to worry about? Is it worth changing the part today? I mean, you can put a lot of money into a furnace. I can fix parts all day. There's good job security in that for me, but is it the right thing for you?
I get a lot of the phone calls of after the technicians are there. They're just in awe. They're like, wow, you guys are great. I mean, I don't even know what to say. You guys are great. Everything you did was perfect. It was great.
Keep going though, I like this.
Just give us a try. I'm gonna take all the risk.
I've got the time to make this right. I've got the support to make it right.
Just check us out.
And if you don't see the value in what we do,
I mean, fixed right or it's free or 100% money back.
Enough said.
What made it unique for me was the experience of it.
Character genetics has given me the ability to identify internal structures.
It's life-changing. It's something that you need in your life.
How a like-minded group of individuals can come together and support one another.
How your mindsets are keeping you from doing the things that you need to do and keeping you from growing.
To calibrate me, to expose me to my blind spot.
Equipped me with how to move into a different way of thinking and living.
It unraveled and exposed some ways of thinking that were keeping me from apprehending all of my future and all that was available for me.
To get a better grip on your line of thinking, how you're thinking.
And after the Reveal class ended, the most surprising part was that the Reveal continued.
Experience Reveal, the first of 3 character genetics transformative leadership workshops. Reveal, the big aha that changes everything.
From a financial perspective, it helped equip me with ways to really take control of my decisions, my choices, and it comes into complete alignment with the reality that I'm not a victim.
Reveal is transformative and interactive. The first workshop is a 16-hour executive group coaching experience that lives up to its name. It reveals obstacles to growth and exposes self-sabotaging mindsets. Enhanced with personal coaching and consultation, the result is the ability to respond and resolve your personal and organizational challenges.
I've heard lots of sermons, I've heard lots of teachings. You tell me about character genetics, and I can remember moments where somebody's life was changed.
Break patterns of behavior that cause cyclical failure. Identify blind spots that stall out personal success. Grow in the critical leadership skills of self-awareness, personal responsibility, listening, and focus. Experience permanent shifts and lasting change in communication skills, business practices, relationships, and finances. Begin to uncap your dreams.
One of the things that happens in character genetics is that the learning process is taking place in the context of relationships. It's like there's a group dynamic. I love what character genetics is doing because its methodology is very unique to anything that I've seen anywhere.
Through workshops, coaching, and consulting, Character Genetics Transformative Leadership Systems are empowering leaders to produce results and maximize their potential fast. Experience accelerated, measurable, and sustainable change by attending a Character Genetics Reveal workshop.
It's well worth the money. It is definitely worth the investment.
I'm confident that it'll help you accelerate the curve on reaching the kind of transformation you want for your life.
It was well worth it. It was completely life transforming for me.
This program can deliver for you.
For a free consultation, contact us at charactergenetics.com today.
All right, that's it for our show today. I just want to leave you with this invitation that if you are wanting to change things in your own life, that accelerated, measurable, sustainable change sounds exciting for you, that I want to encourage you to attend our new Limitless workshop, which I can't seem to find right now. So anyway, it's the best of the three workshops. Really, it's an overview of the three workshops, Reveal, Respond, and Resolve. And look forward to you can check us out, charactergenetics.com or charactergeneticscoach.com. And remember, it's our character that's the real inventor of our results. Take care.